Okay, it working now?
Perfect, perfect. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. So I just want to give a brief introduction on who I am and then Hoop Brothers, and then I'll basically introduce you and like everything, all your like, because I already did my research on all your stats and flag football stuff, and then I just had a few questions, and then yeah, we can basically just go from there. So
Okay.
basically, my name is Khalil. I'm from the NorCal region. I actually graduated from Sac High, which is y'all rivals. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys are still rivals now, but yeah, I graduated in 2020. So I graduated during the COVID year. I played basketball then too. My dad was in the NBA, so I've always grown up around. So I've grown up around basketball. I was part of like Splash City, which is Steph Curry's AAU team,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. But unfortunately, due to shoulder injuries, I did step away from basketball and then end up pursuing track. So I ended up running track for Sac State my 4 years, and then I graduated about class of 2024. So recently. And Hoop Brothers, they're basically a brand that they love to they want to like social media is big nowadays. So
Mm-hmm.
what they want to do is help grow the brand, either if that's by highlights, mixtapes, or just anything to help the athlete get that exposure for the next level, because as we know now, it is very competitive, and with NIL and everything, that's very important. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're originally from Orlando, Florida, and they didn't really have any connection to California at all. And that's basically where I came in, because I see all the talent that comes through California every year, and I feel like we're very slept on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like we have a lot of slept on players that don't get
Mm-hmm.
talked about at all. And especially just like we hear about it maybe in California, especially NorCal, but on the national level, we're kind of like shut out from that. We don't really get that much coverage
Yeah.
at all. So that's basically where I come in, and that's what the brand is. And then now I would like to introduce you. And I'll read your stats off and everything right now, just so the audience can get a like brief rundown on who you are and everything, if that's fine with you. So
Mm-hmm.
today we're spotlighting Daisy Throckmorton from McClatchy High School, and all Daisy was named all Sacramento third team after helping leading the Lions to an undefeated conference record and a 25-7 overall season. She averaged 10.9 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game on the basketball court, but it doesn't stop there. She also went crazy in flag football, where she threw for 8,600 or 8,625 yards. And that's insane. That's insane. With the 71.6 completion rate, 118 touchdowns, and only 19 interceptions. And you also added 819 rushing yards with 7 touchdowns. And that's exactly why I think you could make an impact in like both sports. And that's why you really stood out to me. I noticed that not only were you on the all Sacramento team for basketball, but with the flag football, that's just absolutely crazy. So
Yeah.
I just had a few questions that I wanted to just ask, and like if that's fine with you, and we can,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go from there. So
Yep.
basically, first, what has like been your journey getting into basketball and then flag football now that that's like a growing sport, especially that. So if you could just touch on that maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I grew up like my dad, as soon as I could walk, like he was having me play sports and like he taught me how to throw football when I was probably like 5 years old. So ever since that, I've been playing football just with him because like flag football when I was younger wasn't really a thing for girls. It was mostly
Right.
just like boys tackle football. So I didn't really have like anywhere to play. So I just focused on basketball. And I started playing basketball when I was like 3. And I just played at like little rec leagues until I got old enough to play AAU. And then ever since like 5th grade, I've been playing AAU and then obviously high school. And then my freshman year, I played tackle football at my old school. And then as soon as I got to McClatchy, we still didn't have flag football. And then last year was the first year we had it. So that was my first year playing like flag football at high school level.
That's great. And would you say you have a preference of which sport you like basketball or flag football? Like, do you have a preference, or you like both of them about the same, would you say?
I would say I like both of them like the same. I'm interested in playing either of them in college, so I haven't really made any decisions with that yet.
Definitely, definitely. And what would you say would you contribute to your growth? Like, what would you say helped you grow the most in both sports? I know you touched on your dad a little bit in football, or but
Mhm.
what got you into like basketball and football? Like, what would you say helped that growth? Because obviously you're on a different level than the average athlete. So, like, yeah. So, what would you say helped with that?
I would say just like building relationships with people around me, and I've had a lot of support from like all my coaches and teammates, and so that is honestly like the a huge reason why I'm here where I am right now because like I just like my teammates have all become like my friends, so it's like
Right.
it's fun to go to practice. It's fun to show up and like go to games and stuff because I like enjoy being with them and my coaches. I have good relationships with all of them, so it's just like an enjoyable environment for me. And so that's just what has kept me in it for like as long as I have been.
That's great. That's great. And then would you say you have any goals going into this upcoming season, whether that's AAU, the basketball season with your high school, or flag football season? Would you say you have any goals that you've set for yourself?
Yeah, I don't like to like focus too much on my like stats and stuff for like football or basketball or whatever, but I'd say goals that I have are just like to like make my team better. And for football this year, I want to win the section for sure. And obviously basketball, we have a lot of work to do with losing three seniors and just kind of rebuilding a little bit. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of sleeping on us next year because of like how much we're losing. And we are losing some really good players, but we still have a bunch of good players still here and coming in. So I think that we're going to be a little slept on. So just like proving people wrong and continuing to win games next year for basketball is going to be huge.
Right, right. And could you touch on the flag football? Like, how did you guys do last year, for the audience? And then, do you guys, is it like a conference or do you guys play out of state? I mean, not out of state because it's still growing, but do you guys
Mhm.
go to like LA, down SoCal, or how does like since it's still growing, how does your guys' schedule and stuff work?
Yeah, so since it's like new, there's no state championships or
Right.
playoffs or anything. It's only sections. But we have scheduled like because our record last year was I don't even remember. It was like 26-2 maybe or something like that. So like a lot of teams wanted to play us and like better
Right.
teams like heard of us and stuff. So we are going down to like SoCal sometime in August, I believe like late August.
Okay.
And we're scrimmaging against some of like the top teams down there. Like I think we're playing against Orange Lutheran and they were like I think they were number one in the nation at some point last year. And we have actually today we're scrimmaging against Classical Academy and they're from San Diego and they came up here to scrimmage against us. So we're still like traveling a little bit just to, get more exposure to different areas because SoCal is really good for flag football right now. Like they have a bunch of good teams down there. So just going down there to compete is going to be huge for us.
Right, right. That's perfect. So, what would you say to grow flag football? What would you say it needs? Like, would you say players need like highlights? Do you feel like the game just needs to be covered more? Do you feel like there needs to be more social media platforms that broadcast flag football, or what would you say to really? Because I know they're trying to push it into NCAA, like the Power Five schools and stuff. So, what would you
Mhm.
really say would help take that next step? Like, would you say it would be a player that like comes through and just like how I don't want to say Caitlin Clark revolutionized the WNBA or anything, but her and Angel Reese did kind of like get more eyes on the game. So
Mhm.
you think it takes like a player that is extremely good, or what do you think would take help grow the game of flag football?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of players right now that are extremely good, and it's just like not getting the attention
Right,
that it deserves. And I feel like that's gonna come, but
right,
I think for that to happen, it just needs like yeah, more media coverage, more like highlights and stuff. Because like some of the things like when we go and do scrimmages and play against teams, it's like I can't believe like no one was recording that. Like it's just like
right,
crazy stuff that like just like people should see. Like it's just
right.
like good for the sport to like have that out there. So I feel like that would help a lot. And I think eventually it's definitely going to get into the D1 schools, and I'm super excited for that. because that's going to be huge for everybody.
Definitely, definitely. And then I know you talked about how you have upcoming tournaments. So to just familiarize myself with the flag football schedule, is it basically the same schedule as the football season, or how does that work?
No, it's very different than football. We play just as many games as we would for basketball. Football's only
Oh
like
wow, yeah.
so we played probably like 30 games last year. Our coach likes to have like a full schedule, so I'm pretty sure we have a really full schedule again this year, and we're playing a ton of teams. Like every team in the area that was good last year, we have them on our schedule. So
And it's now like preseason since you guys said I mean, since you mentioned that you're gonna be going to SoCal and playing teams like Orange, Lutheran and stuff like that. So is that like is August like the start of the season, would you say? Yeah, so how does that work?
yeah, August is like when the season officially starts.
Okay.
But we've kind of been doing like spring league stuff with like a little 5v5 league, and we've just having random scrimmages and stuff just to get prepared for that. And
Right.
we practice and everything still. So we've been working out for a long time, like in the weight room, and we've been doing that pretty much since basketball ended.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So they're kind of separate seasons, so it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So um we know like in basketball that highlights and all that type of stuff, like basketball has kind of been its own presence, but flag football is its own thing. So do you think like um getting like highlights and game film for other like people would help grow the sport and like push the sport forward, and do you see yourself like wanting to be a part of that, or do you want to just focus on basketball per se?
No, I think highlights and film that would be huge into pushing the sport forward, and I think that's
Right.
really like important right now and something that like someone needs to step up and just like do it because it's
Right.
it's not hard. Like it's the same as football, and people do highlights for football all the time. So I feel like it can definitely be done.
Yeah, because just talking to like since I'm kind of new to this program, we've talked about like all these sports that they want to get into like they're all obviously into basketball, but football, tennis, and all this stuff, but I didn't really hear flag football mentioned. So I think that could be, especially that it's not a saturated market. I feel like that's something
Mhm.
that we could definitely get into and help grow the game, because there's a lot of like you threw for 8,625. Like that's insane. Like there's a lot of talent that's going kind of unnoticed because people don't like haven't tuned into the flag football yet. So I definitely think that that's definitely somewhere that we could grow with. And I don't want to take too much of your time up, but definitely gonna create a player spotlight of you based on like everything you gave me, the all the information I have, like all your stats and stuff. And
Mhm.
I would love to work with you to help grow the game of flag football and even your basketball too, because you obviously have the talent in that as well. And I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like definitely you're a D1 caliber player, and you definitely deserve the exposure, because not a lot of people, like I said earlier, in our region like get that exposure. But
Hmm.
yeah, I definitely feel like you're one of them. So I would definitely love to stay in contact with you, and yeah, just keep doing great and all that.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd be very interested in that as well for sure.
Okay, so I'll definitely follow up with you after I create the player spotlight. You'll be able to see it. That's going to be free and everything.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll basically send you the link when I finish it. And yeah, we'll basically go from there.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
perfect.
All right.
And good luck on your tournament today or your game today.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problems. Stay up.
Yeah. You too. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.